Everyone thinks the smartest AI is just the bigger model. New versions drop, everyone assumes it's smarter because it's bigger. But get this, you can take the exact same model, same size, same everything, and one version is brilliant and the other one is basically useless, because the model was never the variable. It's never the variable, the dataset is. So in this video I'll cover models, trainings, and datasets. So let's get straight to it.
The AI that matters every day.
Let's start with models. Models is a finished AI system. It's a finished AI. It's a large file of numbers shaped, these numbers are tokens, shaped by training, that this training, it has been trained in the training phase by these huge amounts of data it has been trained on, and it's shaped by this training to do a specific task that you ask it, such as answering questions, generating images, creating websites, creating apps, doing anything that you ask it to in your prompt. So these are not the models, these are apps that it's different. An app from another model, it's different. An app is Cloud, ChatGPT, Gemini, and models are these AI models that are inside these companies, these apps. For example, an app is the whole car, and the models are the engine, what makes this car run and work. So inside Cloud we have Opus 5, Sonnet 5, Fable 5. In ChatGPT we have ChatGPT 5.6, Sol, Terra, Luna. We have inside Gemini, we have Gemini 3.7 Flies. Inside Grok we have Grok 5.6. We have all these models that it's like this finished AI, that it's a large file of numbers, tokens, that tokens is the unit that AI runs and it's able to read and analyze tests. It doesn't use the exact language like English or Spanish. It uses this specific unit that every large language model uses, that it's called tokens, and it's shaped by the whole training phase that it has been on, that it has cost millions of dollars, because it has been used millions of raw data put in there to train it, and then with this data they freeze it to know the benchmarks and do these benchmarks and everything, and they release it to the public with this interference phase for you to use it every single day. But when you use it, you are not training it, you are just using it. Then they use this data that you are using it to train another model. So then we have a new training phase, a new freeze, a new interference phase, and we get Opus 5. We had Opus 4.4, 4.8 before, now we have Opus 5. Every time we are keep getting it better models. And these models can do anything. They can do almost anything, create website files, videos, images, text, anything you ask it to. Then we have the dataset, that the exact definition of it is the large collection of examples a model learns from during the training phase. For language models, this is typically vast amount of text from the web, books, and talks. So the dataset is all this data it has been trained on. All this data, the large language model, these models like Opus 5 have been trained on. All these examples of this data from websites, all the internet, all this data from the internet, from books, from code, all this data that this model can learn on, that can recognize patterns, can see examples. Now it can know what is a cat because it has been trained with so many images and descriptions of cats, and it can distinguish to it between a dog, because it has these millions, billions, trillions of data, of this amount of data from websites, books, codes, anything you can think of during this training phase, and it's able to learn from this data. Then we have the training phase, that, as I said, this is the first phase. This is the one that costs more money and time, and it's the process of feeding this AI model. As we can see here, it's very difficult for him to lift these weights. So feeding a model a data set and adjusting its internal numbers millions of times until it gets good at the dataset ask. So they train it. So in this training phase, we have all this data that they put in it, they feed it with this data, and then they adjust it and make all these adjustments, because when they try it and see if it works, it answers correctly, and it can create better outputs like finished PDF, finished websites or apps. So I know we have been talking and we have put more technical words, but we have this analogy to help you understand better these three concepts: models, dataset and training. So it's called the textbook analogy. So dataset, just bear in mind that it's raw material, books, web, code, all this raw information that we have. For example, for a student that it has to study for an exam, it can go through these three phases. So this is the exact same thing for a large language model, for an AI model. First, we have the dataset, that it's all these textbooks that it has to learn. All this information it has to study. So it's the same for these AI models. Then we have the training, the repeated adjustment over that data, that for a student it's studying from all these textbooks that we had before. So for a large language model, all this raw material, and it's training it from all this raw material. So textbooks, and now it's studying from those textbooks. Then we have the model, the finished system, ready to use. So you can use it every single day. The interference phase, as I said, this finished model. And for a student, this is the student that now it's ready. It has studied from all those textbooks and it's ready to answer any question about those textbooks that it has learned from. So now it's able to take the test, and now you are making it take the test. So it's the exact same thing with AI. So if you can understand this textbook analogy, you can understand how a AI model works. So textbooks, studying from those textbooks and taking an exam. Because it has studied from those textbooks, now it can take an exam and answer anything from those textbooks. But the comparison in here is that an AI model, it knows everything in that textbook, and people may, when they study for an exam, they might forget about some parts of those textbooks and forget things. But an AI model doesn't forget anything. So we have this textbook analogy to help you understand better the dataset, training, and the model. So we have gone through these three different things. I hope you like this video. You can give it a like and subscribe. It helps me a ton, and I will see you on the next one.
That's how I build. One person and every AI in public. The AI that matters every day.